All right, ready for a deep dive? Today, it's all about relationships. And get this, specifically, your ideal relationships.
Ooh, sounds juicy.
We're going to dissect this self-help book, The Perfect Relationship, 28 Days Towards Love. It's by Dorela Iepan.
Okay, I'm intrigued already. Perfect relationship, huh?
I know, right? The title's a bit bold, but think of it less like a destination and more like a roadmap or
I
something.
bet.
What really caught my eye, though, is Dorella actually says she manifested her ideal husband using these techniques.
Manifesting. Okay, so we're getting into that territory.
We are, but even if you're not into all that, stick with us. Day one of the book is about defining your heart desire, but it gets specific.
Specific how?
Dorella's big on having proofs, like tangible evidence that would show you're actually living that dream relationship.
So it's less about vague, I want to be happy stuff?
Totally. It's more like, I'll know I'm in a great relationship when X, Y, and Z are happening. Clear signs, yeah.
I see. So you trick your subconscious into making it real.
Kind of. It gives your mind a clear target. Dorella gives examples like spending quality time daily, regular date nights, that kind of thing.
The classic relationship goals.
But it gets you thinking, right? What are your non-negotiables? What would make you feel genuinely fulfilled?
Yeah, and this doesn't have to be just romantic, right? Think family, friendships, even your relationship with yourself.
So true. Day two gets a bit more intense, though. We're confronting the suffering we want to avoid.
Ooh, getting deep now.
Dorella uses this funny caveman analogy, like, imagine running from a saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah.
Your main thought isn't, can't wait to chill later.
Right.
It's pure survival, right?
Makes sense.
She's saying a lot of our behavior, especially in relationships, is about avoiding what we fear.
Avoiding difficult conversations, staying in unhealthy situations.
Bingo. She lists stuff like feeling unsupported, constantly criticized, even mentions seeing your relationship negatively impact your kids or friends.
Oof, that's heavy. But I guess it forces you to think bigger picture. These patterns can show up anywhere. Work, family.
Where is that fear popping up for you? What you may be avoiding?
Good question. Okay, so day 3 lightens up a bit. What's next?
We're identifying benefits, what we're striving for, both for ourselves and others. Dorella is big on win-win situations.
Not just selfish happiness, but something more.
Exactly. It's not just about your satisfaction. She gives examples like experiencing joy as a family, inspiring your friends.
So that ripple effect, yeah. If your relationship's good, it impacts everyone around you too.
Big time. It makes you ask, what ripple effects would your perfect relationship have?
Okay, getting me to think already.
Day 4 is where things really get interesting. We're diving into the power of gratitude.
Gratitude, always a good topic. How does Dorella approach it?
She actually shares how she was feeling lost in her own marriage and started writing 10 things she was grateful for about her husband every day.
Wow, every day, that's commitment.
Right. And she claims it completely changed their dynamic.
I can see how that would shift your focus.
It's like, instead of dwelling on the negative, you're intentionally seeking out the good.
But do you have to tell your partner all these things?
Nope. She emphasizes the shift in your internal state is what matters. That feeling of appreciation, your partner will sense it regardless.
Interesting. So it's about changing your energy first.
And this applies even if you're not in a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
Gratitude for anyone, your family, a friend, it can bring more peace.
Okay, I like that. Gratitude, peace, what's not to love. Day 5, what's in store?
This is where things get a little out there. We're introduced to this Hawaiian practice called Ho'oponopono.
Hope a what now?
I know, right? It's all about this mantra. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you.
Whoa, okay, that's intense.
It sounds simple, but the idea is actually pretty deep. Dorella connects it to conflict. Like, where does conflict really come from?
Usually the other person, right?
But Ho'oponopono says it's about taking responsibility for everything in your reality, even things that seem external.
Wait, so if my partner does something hurtful, it's my responsibility.
Not blame, more like healing. It's based on this idea that everything we experience is a reflection of our inner state.
Okay, now my mind is officially blown.
Right. So if there's conflict, Ho'oponopono asks, what needs healing within ME that's attracting this dynamic?
Whoa, that is deep. So instead of blaming the other person...
You're looking inward. And honestly, it kind of makes sense. Our reactions often come from our past, our wounds.
Yeah, those unconscious patterns we were talking about.
Exactly. So Ho'oponopono is like saying, okay, this conflict is showing me something about myself.
Yeah.
How can I use this to grow?
That's a powerful reframe. Instead of getting stuck in the blame game.
You're using it as fuel for personal transformation. And that can shift the whole relationship.
Okay, this is getting good. I'm ready for more.
We've only just scratched the surface, but we'll have to pick up the rest of Dorela's wisdom in our next deep dive. Stay tuned.
Can't wait.
Okay, back for more relationship gold from Dorela Iepan and the perfect relationship. Day 6 throws us a curveball. It's titled, What is This?
What is this? That's kind of cryptic, isn't it?
It's not some big riddle, thankfully. She's
Yeah.
actually talking about those stories we tell ourselves, about our relationships.
The mental loops we get stuck in, reliving that fight from last week or whatever.
Exactly. Replaying past hurts, focusing on our partner's flaws,
Yeah.
basically assuming the worst all the time.
We all do it, though. It's like our brains are wired for negativity or something.
Right. And Dorela's saying these negative stories can become self-fulfilling prophecies.
Mhm.
If you keep thinking your relationship's doomed, guess what?
It probably will be.
Yep. So her solution, anytime you catch yourself spiraling, stop and ask, what is this?
What is this? Just like that.
Seriously. It's about creating that pause, that awareness.
Yeah.
You detach from the story and see it for what it is, just a thought, not necessarily a fact.
So it's like challenging those automatic negative thoughts.
Exactly. Instead of, oh, he's late again, he doesn't care, it's, what is this? Is this true, or am I just jumping to conclusions?
Okay, I kind of get it. It's like hitting the reset button on your thinking.
And once you detach, you can reframe things. Instead of dwelling on flaws, try remembering their good qualities.
That's a good tip. Focus on the positive, yeah.
Shifting from fear and scarcity to love and abundance.
Love that. Okay, what's day 7 all about?
This one's called Recognizing Your Divinity. Now, before you think we're getting all mystic,
I was about to ask, are we chanting now?
Dorela's not talking about becoming a guru or anything. It's more about tapping into that inherent worth we all have.
That sense of, I'm enough, just as I am.
Exactly. She says when we forget that, we start looking for validation from outside sources.
Our partners, our jobs, even social media, right?
Bingo. But that never truly works because it's an inside job.
Okay, makes sense. So how do we reconnect with this divinity?
She suggests things like meditation, spending time in nature, being creative,
Yeah.
anything that sparks that sense of awe and wonder.
Reminding yourself that you're worthy, yeah.
You're already whole and complete. And when you operate from that place, your relationships reflect it.
You stop needing your partner to fill a void because you're not empty.
Exactly. Okay, ready for day 8. It's called mental agriculture.
Mental agriculture. Now I'm really curious.
Dorela compares our minds to a garden. Our thoughts are the seeds. If we keep planting negativity,
You're going to get weeds, lots of them.
right, but we plant seeds of love, compassion.
Then those are the things that will bloom.
It's like choosing what to focus on. It's an active choice.
It's like mindfulness almost, paying attention to what you're feeding your mind.
Day 9 is about taking that focus outward. It's called paying it forward.
Karma points.
It's about being generous, not just with money, but time, energy, compassion. Even just a genuine compliment can have a ripple effect.
Yeah, that little boost you give, someone can make their whole day.
And that positive energy, it comes back to you.
Mhm.
It strengthens your relationships too.
So true. When you're giving from a full cup, you're not needy or demanding.
Okay, ready to tackle emotions. Day 10 is all about that.
The good, the bad, the ugly. Let's hear it.
Dorela says first step is accepting them, all of them, without judgment. Trying to suppress them just makes them stronger.
Oh, I've been there. It's like trying to ignore a volcano. It's going to erupt eventually.
She encourages us to see emotions as messengers. They're trying to tell us something.
Instead of freaking out when you're angry or sad, you ask, okay, what's going on here? What do I need?
It's about that pause, right? That space between the feeling and your reaction.
Makes sense. Okay, what's next? Any shortcuts to happiness?
Funny you should ask. Day 11 I asked called The Shortcut to Happiness. But it's not what you think.
No magic pill. Bummer.
It's about shifting your focus from what you lack to what you already have.
Gratitude again, huh?
Yep, appreciating your health, your loved ones, those simple things.
It's that whole wanting what you have thing, right?
Dorela is saying when you're grateful, you're less likely to be resentful, needy, all that stuff that drags relationships down.
It's like choosing to see the good instead of focusing on what's missing.
Day 12 gets kind of meta. It's called The Script of Your Life.
Ooh, sounds like we're getting philosophical now.
It's about those unconscious patterns we were talking about, those scripts running in the background, shaping our experiences.
And these scripts, where do they come from?
usually from childhood, our family dynamics, all that stuff.
So we're basically programmed to repeat those patterns.
But the good news is we can rewrite the script.
Oh, now we're talking. How do we do that?
That's where day 13 comes in. It's called Girls Talk. Now, don't let the title fool ya.
It's for everyone, right?
Anyone can benefit. It's about a power of talking things out with trusted friends or a therapist.
Getting those outside perspectives, because sometimes we're too close to the situation to see clearly.
And sometimes just saying it out loud helps you process it.
Yeah, like a weight lifted off your shoulders.
Day 14, though, is about taking a time out. And I don't mean from your partner.
Ah, the good old self-care break. Essential, right?
Dorela is saying it's easy to get so caught up in life we neglect our own ABN needs.
And that leads to burnout, resentment. Not good for any relationship.
So she's big on scheduling timeouts, even if it's just 5 minutes, to do something that nourishes you.
Taking a walk, reading a book, anything to recharge.
Because if your cup's empty, you can't give to anyone else.
Day 15 goes back to basics. Admire and love.
Simple, but powerful, right?
What does Dorela say about that?
It's about appreciating your partner for WHO they are, not who you want them to be.
Acceptance, baby. Foundation of any good relationship.
She even suggests making a list of qualities you admire in them, big or small.
So shifting your focus from flaws to strengths. I like that.
And expressing that admiration, too. Words of affirmation go a long way.
Makes your partner feel seen and valued.
And that strengthens the bond, creates a more positive dynamic.
Okay, feeling the love already. What's next?
Day 16 takes that admiration inward. It's called Mirror. Mirror, I love myself.
Now that's a mantra I can get behind. Self-love is key.
Dorela's adamant about this. If you don't love yourself, how can you expect anyone else to?
And how can you love anyone else fully if you don't have that for yourself?
She suggests things like positive self-talk, setting boundaries, prioritizing your needs.
It's about knowing your worth, not settling for less than you deserve.
And when you operate from that place, your relationships transform. You stop trying to control or change the other person.
You just let them be, and you're okay with it.
Day 17 brings up something I never thought about in this context. Emotional eating and your relationship.
That's an interesting one. How does that play in?
Dorela is saying our eating habits can be a huge reflection of our emotional state. Stressed, unhappy.
Hello, pint of ice cream. I know that routine.
But she's saying this can sabotage relationships. Weight gain, health problems, all that can cause strain.
And the guilt just makes you eat more. It's a vicious cycle.
Dorela encourages finding healthier coping mechanisms. Exercise, journaling, therapy.
Addressing the root issue, not just the symptoms.
Day 18 is all about getting physical. Literally.
Exercise time. All right, I'm in.
Dorela is saying it's not just about physical health, but the impact it has on our emotions, our energy levels.
Those endorphins are no joke.
And when you feel good, you're more likely to be present, engaged in your relationships.
And probably more fun to be around, let's be honest.
Right. Day 19 is all about looking inward again. It's called Look Inside.
Sounds like some deep soul searching.
It is about understanding yourself, your values, your needs.
Know thyself, right?
She suggests journaling, meditation, even therapy. Anything that helps you uncover those deeper truths.
Because the more you know yourself, the better equipped you are to create healthy relationships.
Okay, ready for day 20. It's about verbal appreciation.
Words of affirmation, I'm all about it.
Dorela is saying to express your appreciation out loud for big and small things.
Because sometimes those little things go unnoticed,
Like, thanks for doing the dishes, or I love how you made me laugh today.
Just acknowledging those small gestures can make a world of difference.
Day 21 is about carving out couple time.
Because even in the best relationships, you got to make time for each other.
Dorela points out how easy it is to drift apart with work, kids, all the chaos of life.
And then one day you wake up and you're like, wait, who are you?
So she suggests scheduling it in, even if it's just an hour a week, to do something you both enjoy.
Doesn't have to be fancy, just quality time, focused on each other.
Day 22 is about gifts, but not in the materialistic way.
Ah, the language of love, gift giving.
It's about expressing love in a tangible way. It could be cooking their favorite meal or just a handwritten note.
The thought behind it is what matters.
And receiving graciously is just as important as giving.
Let yourself be loved.
Day 23 is about another love language. Services.
Acts of service. Some people really thrive on that.
It's about making their lives easier, showing you care through actions, not just words.
Taking out the trash, doing the dishes, those everyday things.
And doing it willingly without expecting anything in return.
Because it's not about keeping score, it's about being a team.
Day 24 is about physical touch.
Woo la la, getting intimate.
It's more than just sex, though, right? It's hugs, cuddles, hand-holding, all those little touches.
Releases oxytocin, makes you feel connected.
But Dorela emphasizes consent and boundaries. What feels good for one person might not for another.
Communication is key, always.
Okay, this one might surprise you. Day 25 is called Missing You.
Missing you. Isn't the goal to be together all the time?
That's what I thought. But Dorela says a little bit of longing can actually be good for a relationship.
How so?
She says when we spend too much time together, we take each other for granted.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance between togetherness and independence.
Some couples need more space than others, that's for sure.
Day 26 encourages us to look outward. It's called outside reflection.
Expanding your horizons.
Dorela's saying when we're too focused on our own little world.
Our problems seem huge.
Exactly. So she suggests connecting with people outside your usual circle. Volunteering, traveling, taking a class.
Getting out of your comfort zone, basically.
And when you do that, you gain perspective. You realize your problems aren't unique, you know.
Helps you see your own relationship in a new light.
Okay, ready for a mind bender. Day 27 is titled, Will You? V's Can You?
Ooh, I like this already.
Dorela says we limit ourselves by focusing on what we can't do instead of what we truly will do.
It's like, can I be happy versus I will be happy.
She challenges us to ask, if I knew I couldn't fail, what would I will to do in this relationship?
Now that's powerful. It's about letting go of those limiting beliefs.
And once you know what you will do, you can take action.
Action is everything. You got to walk the walk.
Okay, deep breaths, everyone. We're at the final day, day 28. It's called The Woman Will Respect Her Husband.
Okay, this is where I get a little.
I know, the wording is a bit outdated. Dorela wrote this from a heterosexual perspective.
But I think the message still applies, right?
Absolutely. It's about mutual respect in any relationship, regardless of gender or orientation.
Respect is non-negotiable.
She's saying it's about valuing your partner, appreciating their strengths, accepting their flaws,
Treating them with kindness even when you disagree.
recognizing they're an equal participant, not someone to control.
And it has to go both ways, right?
Absolutely. Both partners need to feel respected for the relationship to thrive.
When that's there, it creates a foundation for everything else. Trust, intimacy.
And ultimately, love. Whoa. So much to think about from Dorela's perfect relationship. 28 days, packed with insights.
It really is. And even though it's framed around romantic relationships, a lot of it applies to, well, everything.
That's what's so cool. It's like gratitude, self-love, communication, those are universal. Whether it's your partner, family, friends.
Even yourself. That relationship's important too, right?
Totally. And what I think Dorela does so well is she addresses both sides, the inner work AD, how that impacts your outer relationships.
Right. It's not about manipulating someone into being your perfect match.
It's about you showing up as your best self.
Yeah.
And that whole Ho'oponopono thing, that really got me thinking.
It is a bit mind-blowing, isn't it?
At first I was like, wait, so if my boss is awful, that's my fault somehow.
It's easy to go there, but it's not about blame. It's more about realizing you have the power to choose how you react to things.
Ah, okay. So less about my boss is making me miserable and more.
How can I shift my perspective, my energy, so I'm not letting it get to me?
That makes more sense. It puts you back in the driver's seat, even when things feel out of control.
And that's where those unconscious scripts come in, right?
Yeah.
The patterns we don't even realize are running the show.
Exactly. So we got to dig those up, figure out what stories we're telling ourselves that might be sabotaging things.
Awareness is the first step. Paying attention to your thoughts, your reactions, seeing where those patterns pop up over and over.
And having people you trust to talk it out with. That girls talk idea, so valuable.
Sometimes you just need to hear it out loud, get that outside perspective to see things more clearly.
And taking care of yourself, huge. Those timeouts, they're not selfish.
They're essential. If you're burnt out, exhausted, how can you be present for anyone, let alone your partner?
It all goes back to self-love.
Right.
Right. Dorela's big on that. And it's not just bubble baths and face masks.
It's deeper. It's about knowing your worth, setting boundaries, not settling for less than you deserve.
When you have that strong foundation within yourself, it changes everything.
It's like you're radiating a different energy. You attract
Yeah.
different people, different experiences.
So much good stuff in this book. It makes you think, if you could wave a magic wand, what would your ideal relationship really look like?
And even more importantly, what can you do right now to start making that vision a reality? Even small steps, they add up over time.
This was a great deep dive. Lots to ponder.
Definitely. Until next time, keep choosing love every step of the way.
And remember, you are worthy of amazing relationships. See you next time.